I'm Mint Salad and I saw The Machine Girl. It is directed by Noboru Iguchi, and this was requested by the That's All Funny podcast. You can go check it out on Spotify, and you can request a movie for me to watch on Patreon. You can go to the link tree down below, or find another way to give me $20 to review a movie for you. I absolutely love doing requests, so leave me any request, and I'll be super happy to watch the movie. If you're unfamiliar with this movie, I will spoil it for you. This movie starts, we're following Ami. She's a typical high school Japanese student, and she just likes to do the flippity-floppity, and her brother gets bullied by some bullies, and you know what happens? You got the brother and the brother's friend. They're in like some sort of parking garage, and you know what the bullies do, which is pretty much insane? They push them over the ledge. Like, what? This is insane. Immediately I'm like, okay, this cannot be treated like it's in the real world. This is an anime. This is pretty much the first thought, okay, this must be like some sort of live action anime, and there's more movie to prove this idea with. So Ami is like, oh my goodness, wow, I have to get some sort of revenge. I'm gonna go after the bully's family, but it turns out the bully's family are a bunch of ninjas, and she's like, oh, I'm gonna do all the flippity-floppity, ooh, I'm gonna overpower them. But you know what? She does not overpower them at all. She instead gets herself stuck. Her fingers are cut off after seeing, like, one of the guys just cut off a chef's finger for accidentally spilling a plate of spaghetti on the guy's lap, on his son's lap. I'm like, what? This is so... Okay, I keep covering my face during the entirety of when I was watching the movie. I mean, I was like, oh, I don't want to see it, but I have to. It is incredibly gory. I wouldn't say violent because this is very cartoony, the violence, but it's just so much of it. You just see a bunch of blood misting in the air, and I'm just, okay, wow, okay. Why does everything have to be so sadistic? Especially when we get to the part where, oh, let's chop off her hand. Oh, you gotta chop off more of her. Says the guy's wife, hey, you have to kill her, go get her. And of course, misses with the katana and cuts her arm, part of her arm, and now she has a stumpy arm. And I'm honestly at this point like, oh, this seems so sad. The fact that you now are missing a limb, and the fact that I have to watch all this goriness. Also, let me talk about the performances a little bit. The performances are very dramatic. Like, oh hey, I'm here to avenge my family. You did the thing, and here's an action plot point that I'm talking about. Wow, I'm actually not showing it on screen. And most of the dialogue was like that, but it was performed in such a way where it was like super dramatic. So I was like, okay, this is another point in which I think it's like a live action anime. I should also mention that now we have Ami. She's like, alright, well, I have no hands on one of my arms. I'm going to go run off with good old pal Miki, which I believe the relationship is it's like bordering friendship, like platonic, romantic. I think it's cute. And you have her being like, oh, I'm gonna get a machine gun hand. And then a bunch of guys come in like, ooh, we're gonna stop you from becoming machine gun girl. And then she gets machine gun, and then bam, let's bow. All that fun stuff. It's a pretty sweet deal to have no hand, but instead you get a machine gun, and then you get to like shoot the machine gun at a bunch of people. It's a fun concept. There's just so much gore I have to mention it because it's just everywhere. So much of it. Just thinking about it, it's just like, oh, there's so many gross, gory moments where I just felt like I had to not look at the screen. But I couldn't take my eyes away. So continue on with more violence and gore and stuff. And we get to the part where, oh no, not Miki, she loses her foot, and then she dies. She gets a little bit cut up first, and then, oh no, her foot, and you have a big old bleeding stump, and I'm like, oh no. This is so dramatic. Like, okay, I could feel a little bit of tear jerkiness. My tears are going down my face, they go wet, and then, as soon as I'm about to cry, and then a really dramatic lion performance gets me out of the attention. I'm like, oh, this is an anime again. Okay, I shouldn't take this seriously. I was almost moved a few times, but then, bam! Bad line delivery makes it fun. I'm not saying that bad is bad. I'm saying bad in this case is actually intentional. It seems intentional. But let me continue on further with the plot. Ami loses her machine gun hand and in exchange gets a chainsaw, and then we see a bunch of chainsawing action. And if you're a big fan of chainsaws, then this is the movie where you get to see a bunch of blood spraying everywhere. And I'm like, just the unnecessary violence. Everyone in this movie is crazy. My first choice would not be to, somebody killed my parents, I'm going to take their hand, I'm going to cut off their hand, I'm going to stick a bunch of nails in somebody's forehead and drive a bunch of nails into their noggin. And I'm like, I'm not sadistic like this. So everyone in this movie is incredibly sadistic, and I think they all deserve what they got, which is death. They don't deserve the sweet release of death. I think they should be tortured. So Ami now has to deal with Violet, who has the most terrifying bra contraption in existence. It is a drill bra that she can hug somebody and the boobies go spin, and that creates a shredding effect. And as soon as I saw this, I was like, oh no. My titties, my precious titties. I would not want to deal with this drill bra, because this is like, I just feel the pain. It's just like phantom pain. This is probably like the most terrifying moment in the movie for me, is just having to deal with this. But there's a couple of hostages. Oh, human body shield, ooh! But it looks like the human body shield, one of them does a tinkle. He's tinkling about. And then, oh, big bright idea, says Ami. I'm going to use that to push Violet into the water, and the drill bra will electrocute her, and then she will go die. Deservedly so. She keeps cutting off the boobies, which is very terrifying. My tits. Oh no, they're in pain. I don't like that thought at all. Oh no. Now Ami kills the rest of everyone around, and then she's like, well, there's nothing left to live for, and she's about to commit a sin. And she's like, oh wait, there's somebody behind me, sword at the ready, ooh. And it's like, ooh, is it set up for a sequel? But this movie is very live-action anime-y. And also, I should mention that this movie ends there, at the cliffhanger, or was there a cliff to hang there? So I'm just thinking, man, this would be, I feel like it would be a little bit better in my, like, if I would like it more, actually, if it was animated. But I also really like the idea. Like, I really like how they executed the practical effects. Just because, you know, the practical effects really gave me the heebie-jeebies. I was like, I don't like looking at this. And the fact that I was able to suspend my disbelief enough so I can really take all of this at face value. It's like, it's an environment that we're in. And then we add the violence on top of it, and it's just so much of it. I'm just like, oh no, this is really happening. I really don't like this. But the fact that I was able to be like, oh, this is real, good job. I feel like this is like part practical effects. I should also mention just the general color, the mood color of the film was a lot darker, more like earthy tones. Nothing was like super bright or anything. I believe it's to establish a more down-to-earth, like very vibey, you're on the level as all the characters, and just the amount of blood is the really exaggerated part of this movie. The blood wasn't like super colorful except for like the mystical part, which is why I probably thought it was real. Man, it could be real blood. And also the models, which they cut in half and you have the insides. I am very squeamish. I'm a very incredible squeamish person. I can't even look at people getting needles into their skin, much less somebody getting cut in half and like seeing the meaty insides. That part definitely freaked me out a bunch. Like, hot diggity dang. This was definitely a very fun movie. The amount of gore made the movie not really for me, but I do like the whole revenge story. It's a very simple revenge story. It's very fun. It's like, it seems to be, it's supposed to be fun. It's just a fun movie, honestly. Again, I have to mention the gore. It really stuck out in my mind. I should also mention the camera work. The camera work was very motion-based. It really helped me look at all the action happening. And also, there's a lot of cool shots, like a lot of Dutch angles, I should mention. And I felt that the camera work really helped with the premise of the movie, made it very action-y, but also very anime. Like, wow, this had a lot of anime inspiration. Overall, I enjoyed this movie a lot, but I did find myself being like, what is happening? What? Why? Please, no, I don't want to look at that. This third act especially was like that. And because of the anime factor, I gotta give this movie a solid 6.2 out of 10. If you like this review, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share this video with everyone you know. The ultimate goal of this channel is for me to become an expert movie reviewer. So, if I haven't reviewed it on the channel, there's a chance I haven't even seen it at all. So you can request a movie in the comments below. You could fast track the request at patreon.com/ASEpresents for $20 a month for one movie review per 1 month. Or $3 a month for some daily vlogs, all at patreon.com/ASEpresents. And if you like to support the daily grind, go to this link tree for some NSFW content, daily sets. It really helps support the daily grindiness of this channel. So go here, and until next time, I'm Mint Salad Saw. I'll see you later, my salad croutons, bacon bits.